You had decided that you wanted a certain hairstyle for your birthday, was it?
Yes.
Which birthday was it?
The one that just passed.
Yeah.
This is the plaintiff, Cherise Peoples. She says she went to the defendant a week before her birthday for a special hairdo. And boy, the woman made a mess of her, and she had to wear a scarf around for weeks because she was so embarrassed. The woman claims she's been doing hair 25 years? No way, because she did a horrible job, which looked hideous. She's suing for $500, the cost of the hairdo, and pain and suffering. This is the defendant, Nakia Showers. She says the plaintiff is a very picky, indecisive individual, and there was simply no making her happy. She spent 4 hours on her hair. She kept insisting she make it look like she wanted it to look, and kept telling her it was impossible what she wanted to achieve with her type of hair. And so here they are. She's accused of not knowing what she's doing.
All parties, please state your name.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Peoples, you had decided that you wanted a certain hairstyle for your birthday, was it?
Yes, Your
Which
Honor.
birthday was it?
The one that just passed.
Yeah. Good one. That kind of wasn't what I was asking, but good answer, because I have no business asking. All right, so in any event, you go to her. How did you know her? Had you had your hair done by her before?
Yes,
right.
I've initially had my hair cut by her. I used to have locks, and she cut my hair. Then I sent my mother to her.
Okay, so you've done business with her before and you've been happy. So on this particular occasion, did you send her some pictures of what it is you wanted done, and then she gave you a quote?
Yes.
Okay, and what were the pictures that you sent her?
Yes, I have them in my phone.
Okay, I've seen them. They're 3 different styles.
Yes.
All right, so which one did you want? Why'd you send her 3 different styles?
Because I was in detail of what I wanted. The first initial picture that I sent, I said I wanted that one. It's like a longer extended bob. And I sent her 2 extra pictures to show her how I wanted it layered. The sides were supposed to be tapered down and the back was supposed to be tapered down.
Okay. So she says, great, it'll be $360, including the hair bundles, I guess. All right, so you go there, and does she ever tell you, you can't have all of these hairstyles, or?
I told her I don't want all of the hairstyles, that I want the first initial hairstyle, the extended bob, cut in layers, but this is how I want the sides and the back.
Well, it kind of is then that you want, but so you wanted a certain way. You're describing with the first picture how you want one part, with the next picture how you want the sides or whatever, like that.
To let
All right,
her
so
know.
what does she tell you before you start the procedure? Does she complain to you, I don't think that we can do this with artificial hair?
No, because I sent her the pictures 5.
Okay, I'm going to read from your complaint. When she asked me which one I wanted, I told her all of them. 1 photo showed how I wanted the front, 1 how I wanted the sides, and 1 how I wanted the back. You changed that and you wrote, I wanted the first picture. That's fine. But according to you, she says, the defendant told me she'd been doing hair for 25 years. No one had ever asked her to do a hairstyle like that, and she couldn't do it because the people in the pictures had natural hair and I was getting a weave. That's where I got that from, your statement, that you didn't change. So tell me about that.
Yes.
Didn't she tell you before you sat down that this was hard?
No.
Well, then why'd you say she did?
She stated that once we were in the middle of the style, we got into an argument in the middle of the process of her doing my hair. When I first initially sent her the pictures,
that's not how this reads. I told her what I wanted. She told me she'd been doing hair 25 years. No one had ever asked her to do that, and she couldn't do it. But it shouldn't matter if my hair was real or not. I had gone to other places where they're able to style weaves with no issues. I told her, do the hairstyle I was there for. So she did my hair. That certainly sounds like it's at the beginning. Is it your testimony that you tell her that at the beginning?
I give her a consultation. I told her on the phone prior to her even coming to the house, that style was unachievable because she wanted 4 styles mixed into one. I sat her down in the salon when she came that day, gave her a full consultation and told her, I'm gonna do exactly the way you want it, but I want to get paid regardless to if you like it or not, because I'm explaining to you.
Why
it's
don't you just
unachievable.
not do it if you can't do it though?
Well, I was trying to appease her because, again, she's been my customer for a while, and I know she's picky and indecisive, and so I just wanted to appease her and try to accommodate her. And so I explained to her that the style
This is going to be hard, or this is unachievable?
unachievable. The style is unachievable. I'm going to try to do it exactly the way you want it. I'm going to cut the sides
Why
short.
was it unachievable?
Because when you sew in a weave, it falls in one direction, and you're not able to flip it over. She wanted to flip it over to the side. She wanted to pull it up in a ponytail, and the braiding, the way you braid the weave, the way you braid the hair and then you sew it in, is going to fall either straight down, mostly just straight down, either straight down towards the back. However you sew it in, that's the way it's going to lay, because the hair is sewed on a track, on a weft, and the way you sew it in is the only way it's going to fall.
Okay, so what difference does it make if that's the way it's going to fall if you cut it the way she wants to cut it? Like, she has the hair here for the fade, right?
Well, no, I put short tracks in the back and then longer tracks over the top.
Do you have a picture of the finished product?
No, I didn't take a picture.
Do you have a picture of the finished product?
Yes.
I know you have a picture of you pulling things, but do you have a picture of actually how you looked when you left there? Let me see that.
Picture immediately, as soon as I left, Your Honor. Her
Okay,
house,
here are the pictures you sent her, right?
Right.
Yes.
And according to you, this is unachievable. These are white ladies.
Yes.
With their own natural hair. With their own natural hair that can be manipulated that way.
Yeah.
We cannot.
That's not necessarily true, Your Honor. I have pictures where I had my hair done before and prior shortcuts with the taper look, and it
But
was
not
a
this
natural
style.
person.
Don't talk over her. Hold on.
It was a natural I have other pictures too.
Okay, this is you in with a bandana or whatever. A
scarf,
Right,
yes.
so I can't really see how the hair looks.
Exactly.
Right, I'm
That's-
asking you if you have pictures of how the hair looked. So when was this picture taken?
When I got to my house, after I tried to manipulate it, after I went to
Okay,
work.
so are these scales of justice on your back of your neck?
Yeah, I'm a Libra.
Oh, I'm a lawyer. So you're unhappy because, tell me, what are the things you're unhappy about? You feel like the back doesn't look like...
Nothing.
Right.
Exactly. And if you look in the
Right, but you understand a weave, I mean, no matter what, how is she going to shave that to be the fade you're looking for here? It's impossible.
No, it's not, Your Honor. The pictures that I just gave you, this was a weave. It was a sew-in, and it's tapered, shaved in the back. That's the weave hair, because she had
I don't want you to tell me about how the back looks. I want you to show me a picture of the back.
Well, there's another picture. Yes.
Is that the back?
It's the side.
Yes,
and
I don't. So you're telling me you're telling me, trust me, Judge, it looked really tapered in a picture I'm not showing you? I mean,
the side. No.
right, because it looks. I mean, I understand the physics of what she's saying. If you put a weave here, it's gonna go down. How is it supposed to look shaved? How do you install a weave that looks shaved?
There is.
Okay, well, show me one picture where there's a weave that's shaved.
That's what I tried to.
Well, but you didn't. The
I know,
picture you're
it's
showing me,
not.
when was this picture taken?
A while ago.
Long ago? And this
Yeah.
is you, right?
Yes, that's me.
Okay, and it's a cute short do. It's adorable.
And it's weave.
Well,
You
that's
see, Your
great,
Honor,
but
this is how-
your complaint is that the fade here doesn't look right. Show me a picture where you're claiming that in this one I will see that it can be achieved. I don't think it can be achieved, and your picture doesn't prove it can be achieved. Do you have a picture on the internet where it could be achieved?
No,
Just
I
show
don't
me
have
anything
so-
where it could be achieved.
Well, I have
because
my
it
cell
sounds
phone.
like what she's saying is correct.
I have
Your
my
Honor?
cell phone.
Hold on, ma'am. Go ahead.
I have my cell phone.
Okay.
I have pictures.
Okay. So she does your hair. It takes 5 hours. You pay her while
Yes.
you're standing there looking at your hair. You pay her
Yes,
the
lift-
remaining fee, and you give her a $20 tip. When did you decide you were unhappy?
As soon as I was unhappy while I was paying her.
And then you gave her the $20 tip?
Yes, because that's how I try to benefit, I try to help out people.
That's not, okay, no. A tip means you're happy with the service.
I tip at Dunkin' Donuts through a drive-through, Your Honor. I
And
tip
that's
everywhere.
fine. Okay, that's lovely.
And I'm
but
not
if the
satisfied.
Dunkin' Donuts person threw my donut at me or gave me a hairy donut, I would not be tipping them. I would express my displeasure by no tip. But in any event, when do you first reach out to her and tell her you're unhappy?
The day after my birthday.
When was, okay.
My birthday was 10/10. I got my hair
that's
done.
my daughter's birthday.
Ooh.
And you got your hair done what day?
On the 9th.
On the 9th. So 2 days later, on the 11th, you reach out to her. Is that accurate? She called you on the 11th, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. And what does she tell you when she calls you?
She tells me that she didn't like her style. I didn't like it either. Because I explained to her that it was not going to look that way. I did not like it either.
Right.
I told her that I would do her another style over free of charge because it took me 5
that's
hours
really
to
nice.
do her hair.
Why didn't you just do that?
She wanted the same exact style. She was being obstinate. She did not want to be reasonable. I would have done her another style that would have looked nice on her, but she did not want to do that. So she was not going to allow me to redo her style. I couldn't give her back no money.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey 11 here. So if the beautician says, I cannot do what you want really, you don't have the hair for it, but you insist, and I do it anyway, or the hairdresser does it anyway, and it messes up your hair, do you have a case against the hairdresser?
Do I have a case against a hairdresser?
Do you have a case against a hairdresser if they mess up your hair after you insisted they do something?
I wouldn't think so. Would you?
I'm asking the questions. Okay, what do you say?
I don't think they'd have a case
Because?
because the hairdresser told them that they couldn't do the hairstyle.
But, okay, why is the hairdresser doing something that the hairdresser knows can't be done?
I would say it's a creative process. So she's asking him to do something creative, and she's saying, she was telling her in the first place that it can't be done, and she was saying do it anyway. So I think she has no recourse.
You should be a TV producer. Going inside the courtroom.
You picked a style that's impossible to achieve. You testified that she tells you that this is going to be really hard.
Right.
But in any event, if she offers to you, I will do your hair over again for free, why don't you just take her up on that and do something else?
Because she didn't do a good job.
Well,
with
let me
the
ask you
first
this. Did you
hairstyle.
go somewhere else where they did do a good job?
Yes.
Show me the pictures of how you looked in that somewhere else. Oh, so you didn't do the same hair, the same do,
No,
right?
I kept the hair to show that she didn't do it the proper way.
Listen to my question. If you claim it's achievable, and that's all you wanted from her, you wanted it to be achievable, then show me how someone else achieved it, because I'm understanding what she says. And I try so hard to understand black hair. I do,
Your Honor,
because
this
it's
is the
complicated.
type of look she was
Weaves are,
talking about.
I get it. Come
This is
closer
the
to me,
type of
come
look.
closer. Is this a weave?
This is a quick week.
I watched
And this
Chris
is a short
Rock's
hair.
documentary. I try so hard because I get so many cases like this. And okay, turn around.
This is the type of look. She bought the short hair
Wait,
to get the type of look around the side.
Wait, is this your hair?
No, this is weave hair.
That's all weave hair.
That's weave hair. This would have been the type of look that she was getting, but she did buy the short hair to get this look. But it would not look like that in the style that she wanted.
Why not?
So
Why can't it look
It was tapered back here, and the top was feathered.
Right.
And that's the style that she wanted. From one of the pictures.
Yeah, I got it.
That's
Why
the
couldn't
style.
it? Why couldn't
It
you?
couldn't be shaved like that. It could only
No,
be tapered
shaved like that it
this.
can't. But are you saying that is how you did it?
That's exactly how I did it, because it was white here, and then it was feathered on the top to fall over it.
Okay.
So it laid taper. She just didn't like it. I didn't like the size either.
Okay. All right. I am not going to order her to return the $380. I am not going to order her to pay you pain and suffering.
Yeah.
I think that you were well on notice that it wasn't going to look exactly like those white ladies' natural hair.
Your Honor, can I?
No, we're done. And
This hair.
and that's that.
She said she's been doing 25. She said she's been doing hair for 25 years.
And she's done
Why-
yours several times.
She's done my hair twice. And everyone knows, beauticians know, you do not use black thread on blonde hair. You use blonde thread.
Your problem isn't the black thread on blonde hair. Your problem is
No,
you don't
it's-
like the cut. We're done. We're done. I think that she
I'm not a magician.
No. What part of "we're done" was confusing? And apparently, you can't just win. You still have to have the last word.
No, yeah.
You're gonna win. Okay? I don't think you did anything wrong because you put her on notice. If you had said yes, I can do it, and then you couldn't do it, you can't complain later and say but but when you tell somebody this is going to be really hard, it's not going to look like that, I'll do my best, and they say go for it, then they eat the results. So long as the professional tells the non-professional, I'm going to do my best. You want me to do my best because it may not work, then you are in the clear. I find in your favor.
I have a witness.
So the judge finds for the defendant, Ms. Peoples, it didn't work out for you. You kept wanting to say something to the judge. What did you want to
Yes.
say to her?
I had a witness, the witness who took out the hair to see what horrible job that she did. But the judge didn't allow me to call the
The
witness.
judge was convinced by the professional that
But
what you
she's
wanted just
not
couldn't
a
be done.
professional.
Okay. Sorry about that. That's the way the judge has decided. You're going to have to live with it. Okay. All right. Oh, here we are, Miss Showers. Waiting for you.
Hey.
All right. You are a professional, right?
Yes, I am. Over 25 years of doing hair.
I would say so. So obviously you're happy with the judge. She backed up what you said.
Yeah, she was absolutely right. I tried to satisfy the client, and she was not satisfied and was very picky. So, you know, we tried to work with her, but she wasn't happy with it.
You've worked with her before. I doubt you'll work with her again. Am I right?
Yeah, sorry. But yes, we won't be seeing each other again.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a great
Good
day.
luck.
Okay, Doug, I mean, look, as long as the business person makes it clear what the perils are and the customer says, I want it done anyway, tough luck for the customer. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Mercy Ituraga. She says she was hired to stucco a house for the defendant, and she was only paid a portion of the agreed-upon amount for the job. She comes from a family where your word means everything. She can't believe the defendants tried to stiff her on the $2,000 she still owed and is suing her for just that today because she did an excellent job. This is the defendant, Evelina Sandoval. She says the plaintiff's work was subpar and was not going to pass the stucco inspection. She spoke with the plaintiff and pointed out the problems, gave her a chance to fix the work, but she chose not to. Then she had to hire someone else to get the job right. She'll never do business with the plaintiff again and most definitely doesn't owe her a dime. She's accused of stiffing a stuccoer. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $3,000 for all she's out.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff stuccoed a house for the defendant and got stiffed, but the defendant says the work was lousy. It's the case of I'm not stucco on you.
Thank you, Douglas.
You will come in.
Okay. Now, you two are family, right?
Yes.
How are you related?
She's married to my nephew.
She's married to your nephew. Okay.
Yes.
And so nephew and you are in the stucco business, and you two are in the stucco business.
Yes.
Okay. So she contacts you and she tells you she'd like to sub something to you.
Yes. It was a $7,000 house of stucco that we did. 2 stories, which all material was included for $7,000. And if you look at the picture, you'll know why material was included. It's a huge house.
Okay.
So she did pay $5,000 of it, but she never paid the other $2,000 because
Why
they
were you
didn't get paid.
subbing the job?
There was 3 houses that needed to be done. We were on one of them, and we needed some help to get the other one. Basically, the general contractor wanted us to have somebody on the other house as well.
Okay.
That we were doing. So my husband and I were working on one of them, and we hired them to work on the other house as well.
And then there was a third house
There was a third house
that
which is
you were
right-
going to do?
Yes. on
Okay.
the
So
corner.
now the house that you subbed to them, they were paying you $8,000. You were paying them $7,000, so you were going to take one for the
It
commission.
was
or whatever.
10,000, yeah, and we were going to pay them 7. We
Wait. So they were paying you $10,000
for the house, yes,
Right.
the stucco it.
for all
that's
of them, or for that one house?
For the one house.
Okay.
Yes, and we purchased the materials. Basically, we were just going to pay them 7,000 to stucco the house. That's it.
Wait, hold on one second. Was the $7,000 just for your labor, or did it include the materials?
They were going to put the
They
material.
were going to put the materials, so it was
Yes.
just for your labor. I
Yes.
got it. All right. So what happens is they stucco the house. You stucco your 2 houses, or
Yes,
one
ma'am.
of them.
Yes, we stuccoed our the first one. The one on the very corner, we actually, because of this situation, actually ended up being given to somebody else.
Okay, so
The
let's talk
contractor, yeah.
about that. What is the situation you're referring to?
After they finished with their stuccoing their house, the general contractor, he saw our house that we did, and he saw there were certain areas that he didn't like about the house. He was
About the house you did?
no, the house that they did.
Okay.
He had sent me messages saying that he had to hire a stucco inspector to come out and look at their house because he noticed that the windows weren't filled up all the way with stucco, which didn't meet the requirement, thickness requirement of stucco at that time. He noticed, of course, on our house that we did ourselves, that they were flush. The stucco was flush up to the brim of the window, and on their house it wasn't. So because of that, he didn't want to pay the agreed amount that he had.
How
with
much
us.
did you receive from the contractor?
$5,000 is what he gave us.
And then you gave them the whole $5,000?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to need some proof of what you're saying. Do you have pictures of what you're describing that
Yes,
was done
ma'am.
incorrectly?
I do.
Let me see
I do
that.
have some pictures.
I'm going to need you to come up here and show me what I'm supposed to be looking at that's wrong. What's that?
So that's basically showing the reveal of the window. Basically, the stucco is supposed to be flush up to the window, the brim of the window, and it's not.
The stucco is supposed to be thicker?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and you can.
Hold on.
And the same thing on these, you can see. This is the same windows, and these are just from far away.
Why would that be $2,000 worth?
Because he was also questioning the bottom part as well. This portion down here, he was saying that was also not as thick as it was supposed to be. He was saying.
Okay, do you have any proof of the things you're saying that the contractor said all this stuff?
Yes, I have the copies of the text that he sent.
Let me see all of the, and also you said something about an inspection that was failed?
Yeah, that's what he mentioned to me.
Okay, do you have the failure to pass inspection?
No, he didn't give that to me.
Well, you're going to need that if that's true.
Yeah,
And
after this happened, he didn't want to cooperate with me anymore. After everything, he was like, I'm not going to do anything like that.
Go ahead and go back.
So if the customer says part of the job wasn't done well, can the customer deduct what was not done well from the cost of the job?
I would think so, because they'll have to hire someone else to be able to do repairs on the work that was done.
But what if the contractor says, I did the job right, I want my money in full?
Well, you have to give him opportunity maybe to change it again.
Oh, that's interesting. Give him a chance to fix it. What do you say?
I would say you pay them because they already did the work, so...
And then you can sue afterwards if there's a
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay. Going inside the courtroom.
You just kept saying, I owe you $2,000. I pay my bills. A normal turnaround time is 30 days. Not once were you saying you did a terrible stucco job until much later. And then you didn't say a terrible stucco job. You said there were some problems. Mm-hmm. And she reaches out to you, kind of in a formal way. Can I see the text in your phone, because these screenshots cut off the date? This is Mercy, president of JM Stucco. I'm reaching out to you for the remaining balance, blah, blah, blah. I really hate to take this to court. It's the only text I will send you. You say, hello, Mercy. This is Evelina, president of Number One Quality Works. Blah, blah, blah. Since there was issues with the stucco applied, that is the very first time you mention issues. We have full intentions on paying all our subs that we hire. Apologies for the delay. Even here, you don't say it's a $2,000 issue. And then she says, thanks, Evelina, for replying. If there's an issue, I will send my guy to fix it at no cost to your company. Please send pictures of the damage. Thanks again. To which you reply, okay, not a problem. Mainly, it was the second-story windows. They were not filled to the top. And it's 7/8. So to make the illusion, we just filled it up so they don't question the whole house. What?
Yeah.
If I'm the homeowner, no wonder you got fired. If I'm the homeowner and you're supposed to do X and you do Y, what was this about?
I don't.
Okay, not a problem. Mainly it was the second story windows. They were not filled to the top, and it's 7/8. So to make the illusion, we just fill it up so they don't question the whole house. But we've been working on it, and we should be getting paid soon. If not, I will pay you from our jobs and I will sue them. This is what you're saying to them. I will pay you. There's not a problem. I'm going to make the illusion. And then 6 days later, she reminds you again. So tell me how it is that I should now look at them and say it's so bad that you're not getting your other $2,000. By the way, you said you were going to show me the text from
the general contractor. Like I said,
Let me see that.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Eric?
He's my husband.
Okay. On July 30th, the only thing you're showing me as proof is a text from someone who purports to be the general contractor, you say, Eric, you guys don't even have 7/8 on the second floor and 5/8 on the bottom or ½ inch. This would fail inspection, would cause problems on ballast point now. That's all you got. I don't even know which house he's talking about. Why would that be on them? You have a counterclaim against them for $3,000. That's because the contractor withheld $3,000 of that job. So you're trying to get them to pay it.
5,000, yeah, because it was like I said, the job itself was 10.
Well, why wasn't it you didn't amend your counterclaim to
we were still, like I said, if we would have got the other 5, I would give her 2,000 and then us get our 3,000.
Ms. Sandoval, I don't see enough proof on your part that anything they did was the reason you didn't get paid. If in fact they had done a job that needed them to correct it, you would not say, no problem, don't worry, we'll create an illusion. You're still telling them at that point that you owe them the $2,000. You signed a promissory note saying, I've paid you $5,000 and I owe you $2,000. I'm ordering you to pay them the $2,000 and on your counterclaim, 0. That's my verdict.
Well, it didn't work out too well for the defendant, Ms. Sandoval. You heard the judge. She said you got to give them $2,000. What do you think?
If that's what she says, then that's what we'll do.
You won't be working with them again, will you, or not?
No, I don't think so.
Sorry about that. That's the judge's verdict. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You must sign some documents on your way out of the courtroom. The plaintiffs are on their way out now. You're smiling.
Yes.
You feel better now?
Yes, I do. Justice was done.
Okay. Was it hard for you to file a suit against her?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, she's family.
I know.
But I live per day. I take nothing to the heart.
Okay. You still be friends with her, do you think?
Yes.
Oh, good for you. All right. Thank you very much, ma'am. All right, Harvey.
Okay, Doug, we've talked about this before. Hire licensed contractors. I know sometimes it might be a little more expensive, but you have so much more protection. Number one, they get bonded. And number two, you can check to see if they've screwed up any other jobs in the past. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Jennifer Simpson. She says her nasty neighbor butchered a sentimental tree on her property, and he had no such right to do so. That tree was planted in honor of her deceased father. The thing looks like a Q-tip now. He trespassed onto her property, and the louse refuses to do anything about it. She's rip-roaring mad and suing for the $500 she surely owed. This is the defendant, Joel Lusso. He says the tree in question was planted on the property line, and the ugly, overgrown thing was completely overhanging onto his side of the property. The plaintiff ignored all his requests to trim the unsightly thing, so he trimmed the tree to make it look respectable at his own expense. So instead of getting a thank you from the plaintiff for making the tree look nice, she turns around and sues him. Some neighbors. He's accused of taking matters into his own scissor hands.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says her neighbor, the defendant, trespassed and butchered her beloved tree. But the defendant says the tree was ugly and overgrown. It's the case of I don't like your bark.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, so you live in Volusia County in what city?
Daytona.
In Daytona,
Yes.
Florida. All right. And do you actually live there or are you renting it out?
Not currently, no.
All right. Do you rent it out or no?
Yes.
All right. So you buy the house next door to her, correct?
That is correct.
And that house had been damaged in a fire?
That is correct.
And there was an offending tree. How was the tree offending you?
The tree that is on the sideline with my property and the plaintiff has totally outgrown out of proportion to a point where I could not go through the side of the property.
Okay,
in order
is
to
that
do
your
inspection.
property? Is that a picture taken
is correct.
from your property?
That is correct. That's taken
Okay.
right from, you can see the fence. That's where the subject tree is.
How is that blocking you? I mean, it's on your property, so I understand what you're saying, but it's so pretty. Like how, and it's not stopping you from going in and out. That is pretty tight. That's that white picket fence is the fence?
That is correct.
Between you two?
Correct.
And
that this picture is not doing much justice because if you look at the picture towards the house itself, there are staircases that came into play even if you
So
bend over,
it's bothering you. All right, so
cannot.
do you call her and you tell her what?
I explained to her that I need access to my property, and this tree is on not allow me to do so.
Okay.
And these are voice messages that I left.
Okay, you tell me, do you have a conversation with him?
I had a conversation with him once, and then we
Okay.
played phone tag a few times.
And what was the conversation?
The conversation, well, this all started really back on July 25th when he emailed my property manager, or he contacted my property manager, saying that I needed to pay to have the tree trimmed back. And then my property manager emails me saying, this neighbor wants you to pay to have the tree trimmed back. So in Florida, it's his responsibility.
It's his responsibility in Florida. It's his prerogative to cut from the earth to the heavens that's on his side
Yes.
at his cost.
Yes.
Correct.
As long as the tree is in good shape, good health.
Do you talk to him?
Well, I did, and I told him just that
You
it was
told
his
him the law, and what
responsibility.
was his
and he was
reaction?
just angry about it, just not really happy about it. So I didn't have a
Because
good...
you thought she should pay to trim it because it's her tree
Your
overgrowing on
Honor,
your
this
property.
is a lie. I have never spoken with the defendant,
you
with
say
the
you did
plaintiff.
speak Yes, I to spoke
There's
with him
never
one
been
time,
a
yes.
conversation.
Yes.
It was voice messages.
Okay, so
Sure.
so tell me, does she tell you, hey, listen, if you want to cut what's on your side,
Never.
did you ever talk to a lawyer to figure out what your rights are?
No.
So what'd you do?
I went ahead and trimmed the tree so I can get access, and you can see the following photos. The tree is back to where it was before.
I want to look at this picture.
Okay.
This is what we will refer to as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1, otherwise known as a Q-tip. Is this the tree that I just saw here? Is that the same tree? I can't hear your answer.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
And is this your house with the carp on it?
That is correct.
How? Okay, you have a right to cut what's on your side. How did this get cut like this? Did you go on her property?
I had to, the gardener that I use a ladder in order to trim the property, correct?
Did you go on her property? Or send your gardener on her property?
The gardener did.
At your direction, correct? Why did you cut all of her tree? Why did you do that?
I don't remember that was the way the tree was. I
Okay,
have some,
now you said that I'll see that the tree looks great now. Show me pictures of how the tree is full now.
this is what, as of 2 weeks ago, that's what the tree looked like.
Okay, so is it accurate that that's how it looks now?
Any of this growth is considered sucker growth. It is wound tissue on a tree. This tree will never be as sturdy as the original growth. We have hurricanes, tropical storms that come through. These new growth will easily snap off and break.
That depends on the tree, so you can't really say that it will never grow back the same. You
Well,
are not an arborist. You don't
I
have any
can.
arborist testimony. Do you
Well,
have an
no,
affidavit
I
from an
don't.
arborist?
But I was not able to bring
For
my...
all I know, he's cut it again after that.
I could have, but my fiance, who was not able to be here for health reasons, is a botanist and a horticulturist. And so he is the one that has given me all this information to bring here. I've been with him for 20 years, so...
Okay, how long you've been with your partner is not really...
No, I know,
But where do you come off going... Oh, by the way, is this tarp still there?
Yes.
Yeah, why don't you worry about your house that looks awful rather than a few leaves that are blocking a little bit of the way?
This is part of the ongoing process of renovation of the property. I did not put those
Well, I got to tell you, I don't know
But he's
how...
done nothing.
So is this defendant allowed to go onto the plaintiff's property to cut the branches? What do you say?
I would say not.
Because?
Because it's not his property.
Well, that's true, but what if the branches overhang onto the defendant's property?
Absolutely not. He has to ask permission from the owner, make everything in writing, and then you'll know you're okay.
It sounds like a good idea, but if it's encroaching, can't you take a couple of steps onto?
Technically it's not their property, but the job has to get done, doesn't it?
Well, that's the question. That is exactly the question going inside the courtroom.
I don't know how you think that you have what about what she texted you or phone messages that she left made you think you had permission to go on someone else's property and cut down their tree to make it look like a Q-tip. What message did she leave you saying, sure, go ahead, do what you need to do?
So this Q-tips is not what the property looked like after
Of course
we did
it
the
is.
trimming.
You show me how it looked after
I
you
don't have the
Right,
evidence.
exactly. So,
But I do have
what-
a picture to show you.
Yeah, I know where the picture you're showing me now. I get what you're saying. The tree has grown back. But I also get what she's saying, which is, number one, you trespassed onto her property, which you had no permission to do. So I'd like to know, if you had permission, can you show me the permission? Did she leave you a message saying, do what you got to do?
I do not.
Right.
Would I
In
be able to
fact,
say-
what she told you was, you have a right to cut what's on your side.
No, that was never been said.
Well, maybe you should find out what you have a right to do.
Understood,
because
Your Honor.
ignorance of the law is no excuse. Yeah.
Would I be able to add one more thing?
Sure.
He had the nerve also to take the tree trimmings from my tree and another tree, an elm tree that was growing out of his porch. Imagine an elm tree coming out of his porch, and he takes all those tree trimmings and puts them in my front yard. So when I get there, the city had already picked up most of it, but there's remnants of all the leaves, including his
So
elm
what'd you
tree
say?
leaves.
Did you ever confront them?
Your Honor,
Yeah.
there-
Hold on. Did you ever confront
Yes,
them?
in a text. I have 4 texts.
Let
I've
me see
given
the text. Do you have them?
Yes, I do. And he never responded.
May I reply to this, Your
Hold
Honor?
on. First, I'm reading it. Ooh, capital letters. She's yelling. What you did to our tree is illegal. You had no right to come on our property and cut most of our beautiful tree down. We have before pics to prove it. We have cameras on the property as well. Did you catch anything on camera?
My cameras weren't working,
Okay, if you
unfortunately.
knew the law, you know you can't cut a tree down that much, only the portions that are on your yard. You are so concerned about that beautiful tree, and yet you still have a tarp on the roof, and the house still looks like blank. Won't be the last time you hear from us. You ruined that beautiful flowering tree.
Your Honor?
Not much in this neighborhood is beautiful, and you had to destroy the one thing that is. What is wrong with you? Nice. Thought a new neighbor would be an improvement.
Yeah.
Listen up. There's not a darn thing you're saying that would justify what you did there. There's also not a darn thing you're showing me that would justify that the tree cost to replace. The tree would cost $500. Where's your evidence of that?
Well, it's kind of hard to find because it's a dwarf orchid tree. Okay, so dwarf orchid in itself is very rare to find. This tree was...
So how do you know it's $500?
Okay, well, I have some pictures here of some regular orchid trees. They were 5 foot tall. And this one's $119, but it's not a dwarf orchid.
So do you have evidence to support your lawsuit that it costs $500?
Well, how do you put a price on something that's rare? We can't even find it.
You can't put a price
can't
on it,
really
and that's
put a
where the
price
problem
on
lies.
it.
You got to put a price on it. In other words, what you get, on
Yes.
the way you filed your lawsuit is you want the value of the tree.
Yes, but you can't...
But here's what's about to happen. Stop talking. What's about to happen is I am going to conform your pleadings to the evidence and amend your lawsuit to include the trespass. Because you talked about it, you're just not a lawyer and you don't know how to phrase it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also
because
my
the tree may not be worth $500, but the trespass sure is.
Well, my tree was actually 10 foot tall. These right here for sale are 5 to 6 feet. My tree was at least a 3-inch...
It's not obvious you're winning?
Sorry?
Is it obvious that you're winning
yes,
or no?
Yes, I appreciate that. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I'm going to order you for the trespass and for the beauty that she lacked for the whole time that it took to grow back. I'm ordering you to pay her $500. Pay the lady. You don't have a right to do that, and don't do it again.
So the plaintiff gets what she is seeking, $500. Mr. Lassu, what are you thinking?
It's simply wrong. There was a lot of lies in this courtroom. The picture that was shown, certainly that was not what the tree looked like after we trim it. So it's not a nice way to purchase a property in a neighborhood, and the first time you're going to meet your neighbor next door is to a courtroom. And this is somebody you should do all the due diligence, knock on the door, sending a card.
What's this going to do to your relationship with your neighbor? I mean, you're going to have to give her the $500. And the tree does look like what it was after it was trimmed.
Right.
And
so
you did trespass.
Yeah, but my neighbor have the right to be who she is. I'm not here to call it, but I'm here to be a citizen, a good citizen.
All right.
And I'll be fine.
Good enough.
Thank
you very much. You must sign some documents on your way out of the courtroom. You were starting to argue with the judge and you were winning. You know that.
I am so sorry. I think I was just a little nervous.
No kidding. All right, well, you're going to get the $500.
That sounds good.
But look, the tree looks much better now, doesn't it?
Well, I would argue with that. I mean,
Well-
it may look like it's better,
right.
but appearances can be deceiving.
Okay. Well, congratulations anyway. You did win. So thank you very much. You must sign some documents. And Harvey?
Okay, I mean, we have dealt, Doug, with this a lot on the People's Court. So if you have an encroaching tree onto your property, you are allowed to cut up to the property line. That's it. You can absolutely cut the encroaching branches and whatnot. If you have to go on the neighbor's property for whatever reason, they're all right. You cannot do it. You cannot do it without getting permission from the plaintiff. And somebody here, I think you, said you should get it in writing, and that's a really smart idea.